I'm excited to chat with you, Ferdinand, because you have a new song out now, and I'm curious, though, in the beginning, people tend to describe your music as pop, but is there a way that you tend to describe the music you make?
Yeah, it's sometimes even for me difficult to describe it because I just record music I love and I sing music I just love and there's a mixture of pop. Sometimes it's a little bit classical in it, musical theater, which I've done for many years. So I would say regular. I would say it's a pop crossover I do mostly. Yeah.
And who are some of the artists that influenced you when you were growing up?
So influence-wise, as I'm not 20 anymore, so I was I was influenced, I would say in the 70s. One of my most loved singer was Olivia Newton-John. And she gave me so much, how can I say, I learned so much from her, listening to her, the way she took a breath in between singing and articulated and everything. So she was really, I never thought I want to be like her, just I loved her way of singing and her way of songs. And this put me forward in my own way of singing. It helped me a lot, so because back then you didn't have coaches and people telling you should sing this or that. You just had to find I just had to find out what suited me best. So and then over the in the 80s, of course, there were some. I loved lots of David Bowie, to be honest. So his songs, I really loved this. How can I say? not not really kind of lovely singing he was doing, so more this interpreting. Was I right? My pronunciation, the way he
I
interpret.
don't know.
Yes, and so I love this masculine way of singing he did, and telling beautiful stories and just playing with voice, little things, and so I was never a copycat, So I always just loved music, and I was listening to everything. I had I have to say most of the mostly it were female singers. I was more impressed of the way of singing, like having this high range, like Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, which I really adored. And so this, I think this is the most influence I got, So, and then over the years, of course, I just found myself, and especially now for the last 10 years, I'm really there where I always wanted to be. And especially now with Unbelieving Eyes, which meant a lot to me. This song was offered to me uh, 13 years ago
Wow.
from Swedish songwriters and producers, and I had it always on my desk because back then I recorded with them. I looked to the horizon, and they offered me this Unbelieving Eyes, and I always started doing something with it, but it never was the right time to work with the right people on it. But last year we said, okay, that's it. This is the song now. This was the idea, what to do with it, because the demo was just like a ballad, so a 90s ballad. So chorus and then the refrain, chorus and big high notes, and that's it. And so we wanted to do it more uh, pop-like, but also don't forget that I have a range to show that, and also try to move people when they listen to it. Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, what kind of fan response then have you been receiving to Unbelieving Eyes?
I have to say it's the best ever because so many people all over the world write to me via my social networks, via Instagram, Facebook, and I have a big follow now on Spotify, especially since I released Unbelieving Eyes, as it is an original, because I also recorded many cover songs. which I love to do. But with originals, it's of course, and I do everything on my own. So I don't have a big record company behind me and a big management and promotion. So everything I do it is doing on my own. I have my fan clubs in Facebook,
Hmm.
and people are really, yeah, when they hear the song, music is such a beautiful thing because sometimes you hear something and you love it and or you hate it, so or you just don't care when you hear it. And this song has something special because people also think they have to tell me that they like it, which makes it
They go
which
out of
makes
their
me
way to do that. Yeah.
Yes, which makes me feel very comfortable, So because as I said, so age-wise, because you have these stages in life where you to say, okay, what should I do now? Stop it, or shall I still produce, record, being on stage? And I just love it. And this helps me push me forward for so we decided to record a new album this year, which we are working on now, and hopefully released in autumn or winter. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the Unbelieving Eyes, and we have this beautiful interview with you, which means a lot to me. Thank you for that.
Of course. And what is your songwriting process? I know Unbelieving Eyes is one that was brought to you, but do you have a songwriting process for the music you make? Is there a typical way where you start with music, or do you start with lyrics, or is it
It's
different every time?
Yeah, it's different. It's different. So I have a few people sent me over the years songs, demos, or just lyrics, or just the song melody. And then I love to write both lyrics and music. And mostly it's a cooperation, and just end up working with songs. Then I put them back in my drawer, and then suddenly, or a file, on the laptop, and suddenly I say, oh, there was this, and try again. Or I work with different people, different musicians, and and suddenly something happens with it. So years before, I always had ideas. So I said, I will. There were so many songs I wanted to cover, to sing, and so it was easy back then because I just wanted to, when I did a cover song, I wanted to put my stamp on it.
Hmm.
So make it new, like we did years, I think 6 or 7 years now with Never Enough from the Greatest Showman. We said, I love the ballad version, but you can't top this, even when as a man, I sing it because it's so beautiful, the whole production of Never Enough. So, and we said, okay, but I said, I want to sing it and I want to record it. So we did an up-tempo version, which have worked out quite good. So this is the idea always behind. I did also very, very good arrangement of Hallelujah back in 2013 now, but still has many plays in the streaming shops. So yeah, and now, so for now, I'm just working on originals, So, and I'm always happy if people contact me and say, "Listen, I wrote these lyrics, and maybe you want to write some music, or you have some ideas. Let's work
Hmm.
together." I'm very open-minded. I did a few songs, cooperations with people from America over the years. So, 3 or 4 years ago, I released "I Should Have Written You a Love Song," which is a very nice ballad. And I also wrote some music and lyrics with it in Italian. So it ended up totally different as the guys who wrote it, the original, wanted it. But at the end, they were just so excited, and me, of course, too. But I'm never too excited. Don't misunderstand me. I'm never too excited about my own work. I'm always very critical and always think I could do a little bit better. But yeah, that's me.
What about the production side of the music you make? Do you find yourself very hands-on when it comes to crafting that?
There's a lot going on, you know. So I'm working for many years now with my main producer in Germany, Alan Vukelic. He does a lot of international productions, and we became friends over the years. And he's the one, he really understands where I always want to go with a song. So he
Yeah.
knows my voice very well. And I can tell him, okay, I want orchestra, I want this, I want the drums, I want guitar, I want live guitar or e-guitar and stuff. So this is a very, very good cooperation. And of course, you know, there are discussions because he's younger than me, and he
Uh,
always says, "Oh yeah, it's not maybe not that modern as it should be. You sound a little bit like." I would like to do something with the sound of the whole thing, and but mostly we agree at the end. And I say because I say okay, but I don't want to sound like Adele, you know, or
right, sure.
sound-wise, you know, because I can't. But I want to put my stamp on my own voice and on my own recordings. And in the end, we always make it, I think, very good, the result. Yes.
Well, you talked about new music coming here shortly now that Unbelieving Eyes is out. Will you have more music here in the spring, or is it coming summer, like the full album?
Yeah. So the album itself, because it's lots of work, it will be just originals, even some older ones I've
Oh,
released
nice.
over the years, but just originals. So it will, we have a plan, we plan now four new whole songs to produce, and I don't know when this will be finished
Hmm.
because I can't, so I'm a Gemini. And when you tell me I have to record in May, I know now I'm not in the mood to record in May, you know, because there's always something else. So uh, I need to all bring this all in planning of music because I really and uh, uh, how can I say? So I hope it's finished before Christmas. Let's say it that way, you know. So we already released another original, which is called "I Found My Dream in You." After Unbelieving Eyes already. But we recorded it a year ago, and I said after the success with Unbelieving Eyes, people should also have a listen to this new one, you know. But it's just not a. I understand it's not a hit, you know. But it's a very nice song, and my fans always are asking for new, and so I said I will just release it. Yes.
Well, is there some live performances maybe coming up as well?
So live performances, I'm asked very, very often, and now even more for charity work, which I love to do. You know. So, and as I live in Scotland, and I'm Austrian born, I lived for a long time in Germany, and now I live since 2007 with some breaks in Scotland. So I have an agency asking me to sing in London. Then the other one asked me sing in Inverness and stuff. So there's some going on. It's not really just as a guest for dinners, for events with other
Yeah.
guests. Yeah, I did my last real my own concert in 2018 in my hometown in Austria, which was a big success, and I was so happy. Uh, there were so many people coming and joining me this evening, and I would love to do a concert like that. But for this, I need people asking me, help me with that, organizing it, and so I would be ha more than happy if I get some people asking me, would you sing there and do this for us, you know? So, but plan-wise, it's more like, as I said, a month I'm three, four times on stage, and I'm have to say I prefer sometimes having my privacy more than back then. Yeah. So, but if people want me to be somewhere, I'm there and I sing.
Who are some dream collaborations you would love, someone you would love to duet with?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. So it's how can I say? I wasn't touring with Vicky Leandros. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. She won the Eurovision Song Contest back in the 70s, and she's a very popular singer in Europe. And I was on Christmas tour with her, and we did some Christmas duets together, which was just a dream come true. And of course, there are many people out there would love to cooperate, you know. So if Celine Dion would ask me to sing with her, I would do it
I'm
immediately, you know.
sure. Right?
Who
I would do it
wouldn't?
with her and I'm not
Uh,
singing.
of course. I would do so. It's just like I have to say I was friends with Olivia Newton-John over the decades. I had the pleasure because my partner he's in fashion design and he used to make dresses for her. So I had the big pleasure to meet her and we were talking about over the years, you know, doing something together. And she liked my voice. But it never happened. And sadly, she's not here anymore, which is very hurtful. But she was one of the, as I said, because there was so much in me from my youth with her, I would have loved to sing a duet with her, you know.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the beautiful music you continue to make, Ferdinand?
I try my best. Thank you so much. I try my best, and I'm so open for so new people coming to me, telling me, "Listen, I have a song for you, and I would like to do a cooperation." And because I'm open for everything, you know, I never thought because I stopped in 2002. I stopped making musical theater. I stopped everything, no music anymore. I was really tired of everything. It took me 6 or 7 years, and then I started coming back, going back to the studio and record my album back then. And where I really found out I can't live without music, you know.
Sure.
And because I was grown up, when I was grown up, it was just like you needed a contract with a record company. You couldn't do anything on your own. But it changed, thankfully, and you can do lots now via internet and social networks. And it's tough because it's so much going on. And but in the end, I'm happy and having this beautiful response, like you talking to you and giving me this opportunity. It's the best what can happen.